I live on the East Coast, but almost none of my family does. At this point, my closest relative lives in Tennessee. The rest are scattered across the Midwest, Texas, California, and a few other places in between. And because of that, most of my friends went years without meeting a single member of my family. In fact, after enough time passed, some people started wondering if my family actually existed at all. I assure you, they do. And they're awesome. But one question I get asked fairly often is this: what's your family like? Or sometimes, which parent are you most like? And every time I give the same answer. If you've met me, you've pretty much met both of my parents. Now, I'm not a perfect 50-50 split. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is that almost every characteristic people see in me can be traced back to one of two places. Either I inherited it directly from one of my parents, or what people see in me is the exact opposite reaction to something I learned from them. Either way, they're in there. Let me give you a silly example. Chapstick. Or more specifically, Carmex. You see, my dad has carried Carmex for as long as I can remember. Growing up, it seemed like there was always a yellow tube somewhere nearby. I knew the smell, I knew the routine, and it was just part of who he was. Years later, when I decided I wanted some sort of lip balm or chapstick with me, I tried a few brands, and then one day I saw Carmex stick version, like a chapstick tube of it, instead of the weird liquid goo. I bought it, and the moment I opened it up, memories came flooding back. And I've used it ever since. Now, that seems completely insignificant. Nobody is going to write a biography about my choice of lip balm. But that's not really the point. You see, the smallest details in our lives often reveal where we came from. That tiny habit wasn't really about the chapstick. It was about influence. It was about years of watching someone I respected. And when you start paying attention, you realize that influence shows up everywhere. The way I work, the way I solve problems, the way I treat people, the way I laugh, the way I navigate difficult situations, the way I handle responsibility. Some of those things came through genetics. Many of them, however, came through examples. My parents didn't just give me part of their DNA, they gave me role models for years. For 18 years, and well beyond. They have been shaping how I have viewed the world. They have often said they wanted their children to become happy, healthy, independent adults. And when I look back, I realize they spent years intentionally building towards that goal. Not through one grand lesson, but through thousands of small moments, thousands of conversations, thousands of examples, thousands of ordinary days. And eventually those ordinary days became a person. That's why when people finally meet my parents, they often say, "Oh, yeah, I get it now." Suddenly things make sense. The voice, the humor, the work ethic, the values, the similarities become quite obvious. And I think there's a lesson here that's much bigger than parents and children. Because every one of us is being shaped by something or someone. Maybe it's parents or mentors. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's your faith. Maybe it's a company culture, a friend group, or social media. Maybe it's the voices we listen to every single day. Whether we realize it or not, we are constantly being molded. The beliefs we consume become the beliefs we repeat. The habits we practice become the habits we keep. The influences we follow become the lives we live. And eventually, people begin to see the source. If your life revolves around your work, people will see it. If your life revolves around physical fitness, people will definitely see it. If your life revolves around your faith, people will see it. And if your life revolves around negativity, people will feel and see that. Because over time, the source always leaves its fingerprints. The things that shape us eventually show up in us. So here's a question I'll leave you with today. If someone met you for the first time, what would they assume molded you into the person you are? What book would they think you studied? What values would they think you lived by? What people would they assume influenced your life? Would it be that the answer to that is intentional or accidental? Because none of us become who we are by chance. We are being shaped by something. The real question is whether we are choosing it. So choose carefully. Choose intentionally. Choose influences that build the kind of person you want to become. Because one day someone is going to look at your life and say, huh, now I see where you came from. And when that moment comes, make sure you're proud of the answer.